certainly dug into Houston, watched our game last night just to try to touch up on some things that you're constantly trying to be mindful of. What are the mistakes and errors that we're making as coaches and players that we need to maybe try to correct. So we did that. The staff has been hard at work on Houston as well. So short night for sure.
What is that like when you come off of having an extra day to prepare and as well prepared as you were for the other night? What is the challenge of being that same level of preparation but less time?
Well, I think it's going to be a player's game. Not to say that they're not going to be prepared. Both teams will be prepared really well, and we need to do a really good job of that. But at the end of the day, I think with these quick turnarounds, typically, it's a player's game. They do some things that we'll need to adjust to and make sure we're prepared for, both offensively and defensively, but it'll be a player's game.
Houston has a guy who got up 17 three-pointers on Friday night. Some of your coaches, if a guy shoots 17 three-pointers, is that just him getting shots up, or is that a bad job defensively on you guys?
Well, he's a terrific shooter, and it's kind of what he does. Having said that, and I don't know how much those were in the guts of the game. I know it was a blowout victory, but the way that Georgia State plays with their matchup principles, I think they did a great job finding him for open threes.
Do you game plan differently when it's a guy who clearly just wants to get up three-pointers, like all but like 5 of his shots were three-pointers?
Yeah.
Do you game plan differently?
We do, we do. But he's got a little more than that to his game. He does. I say a little more. He's definitely got more than that. He can deck it. He can do other things. He passes it well. But shooting is a strength for him. He's not strictly a guy that's just shooting. We have classifications for our guys, and if they're shooting 75% of their shots are strictly threes, we kind of have a category for that. But he's a little more capable, and he can do other things.
Are we allowed to know those categories?
At some point, not now. At some point, let me get to know you a little better.
Chris, when Caleb comes out of such a game that was so physical last night, coaching staff, training staff, do you have to do anything different to make sure his body's ready for tomorrow?
Yeah, we do. Our trainers done a great job, but they got massages today. The guys that played a lot got massages, which was important. The coaches did not get massages. The players did, and the players are the ones who deserve it, not the coaches. But and I think today it's going to be a lot of mental stuff and some stretching and a lot of mental stuff in terms of preparation. I'm not sure how much we're going to do in terms of really getting up and down.
Is he better? I don't know if that's the right way to phrase it. When he gets to play a physical game like that, and it seemed like the officials were really laying that contact, does that play to his strength?
It does. And I thought, I thought he was really smart in his attack. Now, the challenge for him is Houston's going to play him differently. They're going to limit some of his touches. They're going to do some things when he catches it that are different, quite a bit different than Iowa State. I think he's going to have to figure out ways to impact the game in other ways. He needs to be able to score the ball for us, but he's going to need to do it in other ways as well. And he's going to need to have another game, and this is the challenge. He needs to put another game together of that caliber performance and where he can stay out of foul trouble. He needs consistency in that area. Having said that, I thought he was obviously terrific last night. I think he's got the best hands of any big kid in the country. I really do. I think he's got the best hands of any big kid in the country.
That team looked like a team that was on somewhat of a rampage yesterday after losing to Cincinnati in their conference tournament. The way they dominated really from the end of the first half and those first 15 minutes, second half, I mean, they were on a mission. If you imparted to your team that this is the mindset the opponent is going to have, that they are on, they're trying to do some really big things here.
They're as tough and tough-minded as any team we've played all year, but clearly. And they're up there with, in your mind, you can think about all the toughest and toughest-minded teams we played in our league. Houston is right there, if not better. That's who they are. They play with with an edge, and hungry all the time.
How much swagger and confidence do you think you guys picked up from just this first win over Iowa State?
We'll see. I think obviously it's a confidence builder to be able to come in and play as well as we did. but it's a completely different animal that we're playing here in a night. So we'll see. But I do think our guys, honestly, I think our guys have played with a little bit of confidence here these last few games. Maybe a lot of confidence. I really do.
Remember you guys played Michigan, you said you thought Xavier Simpson was maybe the best on-ball defender you coached against. Where does this, was it Galen Robinson, 25? He looks similar if he's not maybe on even footing with him.
Yeah, they have a lot of guys. I think the thing that makes Xavier and this kid so special is they're active, they're smart, and they've got really strong hands. And they get their hands on a lot of balls. Again, I think they're a very good defensive team, and a lot of that comes from, I think, Kelvin and his mindset and his approach and his tough-minded. But you also have to have great individual defenders, and they do.